And good morning, lovely people. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ray Lavery. I am very early on in my testosterone journey, so I just thought that I would log everything as I go along. So today I want to talk about testosterone and why I chose what I'm choosing. And of course, you're going to be different, so whatever you choose is completely up to you, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So when it comes to testosterone, there are several ways that you can do it. Here in the UK, you can get gels or you can get injections. There are two different types of injections, and I think the different types of, I'm not really an expert on the injection side, but just from what I've learned, is that there are two different types of injections. It's a subcutaneous, which has a smaller needle, or then there's the intramuscular, which has a larger needle. Now that might seem like very large, but it's basically 1 inch or 2 inches, because obviously you have to get through the skin and the fat layer into the muscle, and so that's the case. As far as I'm aware, the intramuscular is for people who are getting longer doses of testosterone, something that will last a month, or I think as long as 3 months. Now, for me, I wanted to take a tapered approach. I know it's the opposite to what most people are doing on this. People want changes as fast as absolutely possible, and I can really understand and appreciate that. For me, however, I'm 47 years old, and also I want to make sure that I give my body a chance to adjust, and I give my psychology, I suppose, my mindset a chance to adjust to what's actually going on here. I also have read a lot about sort of the effects of testosterone, and while I appreciate that I need to go back to sort of a puberty level and you go back through puberty again, I didn't feel the need to have all the massive horrible effects such as mood swings and, feeling high and feeling low and massive acne and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, you know what, I'm not down with that. I'm a very level-headed, calm person, but I want to make sure that that remains the case. I don't want to go through mood swings. I don't want to suddenly get angry at people. I'm an adult. I work in a professional environment. I need to make sure that I treat everybody with respect, which is exactly what I would do anyway. And so I don't want hormones to, make me more angsty and so on. So I thought I'd take a more tapered approach. Now, another reason for taking the tapered approach is because I'm, of course, somewhat older, 47, and so it's very late in the game, if you like, to be going down this road. Now, the thing is that I have finished growing. My growth plates have sealed, which means I can't get any taller, any wider. My skeletal changes won't happen, but that also affects the larynx. Now, what I have heard of and I was very worried about was a thing called vocal entrapment. Now, vocal entrapment is basically where, because your vocal cords, if you like, are grow and they enlarge, they get trapped because your larynx cannot expand to accommodate that. So for instance, I probably will never have an Adam's apple. Some people have reported that it has grown a bit. I don't know, but I want to take it slow anyway. So when I say vocal entrapment, by the way, what it essentially means is that when people's vocal cords are squeezed, it's difficult for them to talk. They lose range, they sound hoarse, they probably sound a bit squeaky, their voice doesn't drop to the level that they want. Well, it probably never drops to the level that they want, but the point is they're not going to get the best result. And that, from what I've read, although a lot of it is very anecdotal, people's stories, what people have told me, stuff that I've read, there are a few papers out there on that. In order to get the best result on your voice, the best thing to do is to have less testosterone at the beginning and then build it up as you go. So basically you give your body a chance to adjust to the new hormone levels, and so therefore it takes a better approach and the end result of your voice is better. Now, no idea what my voice is going to sound like. I could turn out to be just very squeaky. It may have almost no changes at all. There are certainly people where the voice doesn't change. I think that there will be some change, because here I am a week and a half in and I'm already hoarse. My voice is already lower to a degree. If I compare it to the video that I did, the welcome video for this channel, it's quite different, but not noticeable. People talking to me don't notice it so much, but I can definitely hear it. So I know something is going on. My throat is very sore, so I just have to deal with that. But the point is I want a good result, because the result that I get will last me for a lifetime. And okay, in my case, that's 40 or 50 years, and I want it to be as good as possible. So I'm giving my body a chance to do that, and just to give my body a chance to adjust to the new hormone levels. Essentially, I'm going through a forced menopause. Now, look, I was perimenopausal anyway, so the estrogen and progesterone levels will drop away, and the testosterone will take over. So at the moment, it's just about building up my testosterone levels to a more normal level, which is about, I think, 300 nmols, whatever measurement that is. It's just a measurement of fluid, if you like, a medical measurement. So it needs to build up to that level so that it becomes stable, and that's what I want. Is I want it to be stable. I don't want mood swings. I don't want to suddenly get a lot of acne. I'm starting to get a few pimples here, but nothing major. And if I could keep it that way, that would be absolutely brilliant. Now, look, if it turns out that I do get acne, I do. I'll treat it. We'll deal with it. I had plenty of acne when I was a teenager, so I wouldn't be surprised if it turned up. Now, so that takes care of the vocal entrapment. Now, another thing that I want to say to you guys is that it's very important that you get the levels of your testosterone right for you. You are an individual. Your blood will be different. Your circumstances, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your all of this kind of stuff, your hormone levels will be different depending on your age, depending on your genetics, a lot of things that you basically can't control. And so you want to make sure that the levels of the testosterone that you take match you as an individual. This means you need to get your bloods done. You need to have a professional who understands testosterone and how to actually administer it and how much to administer it to give you the right dose. The reason being is that there is this thing, and I've seen it out there, where people are self-medicating and they don't actually know what they're doing. They're guessing how much they're putting on, but also they're over-medicating themselves. They're putting on too much testosterone, and that, I'm afraid, is a disaster. The idea, I know, is to think that you're going to get your changes faster, but in actual fact, it doesn't happen. There's only so much your body can actually take, and if there is too much testosterone in your system, your body actually converts it into estrogen, which does the complete opposite to what you want. Complete opposite. You start looking more female, more rounded, more, softer. All of the things that you don't want will start to happen. And I have seen this out in the real world, and it really worried me. I've met people in trans groups and just having a chat with people, and you're like, okay, well, how long have you been on? Okay, 2.5 years. And I'm looking at them going, you look terrible. So I didn't want that to happen, because being so completely stuck in between two worlds where you're neither male or neither female, I know there's a transition period, but after 2.5 years, you should look pretty good at this point. But if you're overdosing, I'm afraid you're going to get it wrong. Your body won't change the way that you want. So what your body does, by the way, of course, is completely individual. We are all individual people. No two people will have the same results. So you have to take that into account. So even if you think you can't afford it, you can't afford not to get your bloods. You can't afford not to understand the testosterone levels, and you can't afford not to think about how you want the changes to occur, how it will affect your life, because this is the real world. So please, get your bloods done. Please get a professional to help you. Make sure that you are not overdosing, and give yourself a chance to come to terms with the things that you are doing, because it is a big change, a very exciting change, very scary change, all of that stuff. But, give yourself time. I think it's invaluable. So moving on to what we have here. Here we go. I went for the gel. Okay, I did not go for the injections, and I went for the gel because of everything I've just said. Is that I wanted, it's not really a lower amount, but I wanted to be able to have a steady amount of hormones, and so that I didn't have those mood swings, and also it could be adjusted very, very easily. I'm lucky, my bloods came back. There's nothing wrong with me in any shape or form. My hormone levels are fine, my cholesterol level is fine, blood pressure is fine. I'm just fit and healthy. But so that's why I went for this. I didn't want to do the injections, and I didn't want to do the injections, like I said, simply because of the mood swings. And so essentially when you get the injection, you have an enormous amount of testosterone that's supposed to last you over a month, 10 days, a month, 3 months, however long it's going to be for you. So you have a lot at the beginning, and then as you go towards the end of that period, your testosterone levels start to drop, and that's where you can often get those mood swings and things like that. And I'm just like, no, thank you very much. I don't want that. I want to put put a system in place where my body builds up the testosterone levels to a certain level, and that'll be somewhere between 3 and 6 months. And then once my hormone levels are up to that and it is steady, then I'm very happy to move to injections from that point forward. I'm also very happy to self-medicate and stuff. I'm not scared of needles. It's all, I've done thousands of injections over my life, whether it was for my dog with diabetes or people in Africa, or, you know, when I was volunteering. It's not something that bothers me. So anyway, there you have it. That's why I did it. I actually did this video yesterday, but I did such a horrendous job. I forgot to talk about the bloods and all kinds of stuff, so I thought I'd do it again. So anyway, here we are. Here is the testosterone. So it's for me at my age, it's 2 pumps a day. Okay, so 1 pump is what is it here? I think it's 20.25 milligrams that you put on. So I'm getting a total of 40 every single day. So like I said, very, very steady, depending on your age. If you're quite young, I understand you can start with 1 pump, and then this might be increased to 3 or 4 pumps as I continue on, but not for now. And like I said, I'm not overdosing. I'm going to keep things very steady. So what you do, you just take your little pump here. 1 goes in the hand here, on the shoulder. Okay, so you just place it on your shoulder. Don't rub it in. Just let it soak in naturally. It only takes a minute or 2. So you just put it on the shoulder area, and then 1 on the other side. There we go. So that's it. Just leave it there. Put that lid back on, back in the box it goes. And I'm just going to pause the video for a second, because what you now have to do is you have to wash your hands. You can't just go around touching people or touching things or putting it on your t-shirts, because you will actually transfer the testosterone onto somebody else. So if you have dogs, or you're touching people or a partner or whatever, so be respectful and don't do that. So just bear with me now while I go and wash my hands. Now, there we go, I'm back, washed my hands. I'll just leave that for a few seconds to soak in, a few minutes to soak in, and then I'm going to put on a t-shirt and stuff just to make sure that it's not going to transfer to anybody else or to my dogs or anything like that. So there you have it. So this is a very simple procedure. It's not difficult. It's kind of fun, and there's no way you're going to forget it, because it's something that you've wanted to do for a very long period of time. So keep yourself steady. That's what I would suggest. Obviously, what you want to do is completely up to you, but please do it with medical advice so that you don't do the wrong thing for your body. I cannot stress that enough. By the way, I did notice something that I thought was quite hilarious. So we have the branding here for the Testogel, and then we have the branding here for Tampax. Pretty much the same. I found that absolutely hilarious when I discovered it, because they're the complete opposite to things, and I don't know why, but I just found it very funny. So look, there you are. That's all I wanted to say for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will, by the way, put some links in the description below, just some links to the different types of injections, explaining the levels, you know, things like that, so that you can do your own research. But like I said, please, please, please do this with medical supervision so that you don't get it wrong. You will live with these results for the rest of your life. So get it right. Okay, so there we are. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is that you're going to do, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.